Okay, so I've zoomed you guys in a little bit more just so you can see better in what I'm exactly doing. So I am just going to go straight in with the Anastasia Dipbrow pomade. I use the shade Auburn. So it's just like this warm toned brown that I've been loving lately. I've always loved the Anastasia Dipbrow pomades. Like, they're very, very creamy. Mine has never dried out, which I've heard a lot of people say, so I'm not too sure if maybe like there's a new formula that's been made since or whatever. I'm honestly not too sure, but for me, I've used basically eyebrow products in the past that have dried out, like the NYX pomade, and what I've done is I've used just a little bit of oil. This could be like a primer oil or anything, and I've just put like a 1 dot in there, gave it a mix, and then put it on that way. Or you can also, instead of using that, take a bit out of the pot. So take a little bit out with your brow pencil on the back of your hand and just warm it up that way. And I find that really works, so in case you haven't tried. But I'm just gonna get my brush. Where is she? Here she is. For this one today, the name has almost rubbed off, like you can hardly see that, but I'm just going to use the Milani eyebrow brush. It's got the spoolie on one side and then the angled part on the other, and I'm just going to go straight in. So normally I like to use a spoolie side and really brush up the hairs just so they're out of the way, basically, from when I'm drawing my lines, because I like to draw the outline of my brows first and then fill them in whilst I go. Other pomades that I've tried in the past, they've worked fine. I've tried the Makeup Revolution, which by the way is an amazing cheap alternative. How much was it? Like maybe £4 or £6, I believe. Really, really good. Again, went on like a dream and just blended out really nice. It didn't leave like any harsh lines, like it didn't dry out or anything. Yeah, because I know the Dipbrow can also be a bit expensive, but I love the Makeup Revolution one, so if you guys wanted to look into that, then I would recommend it. But normally before I would go in with a powder, but obviously since I've dyed my hair, like I said, I like this shade, and it's one that matches me really well with my eyes and my hair, so I've just decided to go with it, and the product itself is really good. So, but anyways, what I've done, I know I've went through that quite fast, but I've just created a line underneath with the thickness that I want to go for my brows. So I do normally stick to kind of similar of my brow shape. I do fill in little sparse areas like here and just make it more curved and more full looking. And then I drew a line on top just to obviously create that thickness that I want. And now I'm just going to fill in the brows. It's nothing too complicated really. It's just filling it in and just getting the exact shape that I want. So for me this normally takes like 10 minutes. Just so I can get everything the way I want it, because I'm normally really fussy on my brows. So what I'm going to do is just continue to make that line at the front. I'm not going to go all the way to the front of my brow. I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to fill in a little more, not too much, and then I'm going to use the spoolie side to blend out the front in a minute. So I'm just going to continue getting the line as straight as I want it, or as curved as I want it. Just a little bit more. The top for me is always the hardest part. I'm not sure why, but I always have to go over it a good few times just to make sure that it's exactly how I like it. And then I use the spoolie side and I'll just go in and blend the front and drag it, almost drag it out. It's okay if this bit gets messy because I can clean it up in a second. Like that. And I normally just use my middle finger, or any finger really, just to help smudge out the front and make it more faded looking. I don't like to go in with concealer or foundation and then to clean it up. I just like to use my finger because I think it gives a more effortless blend. Like that. And so now what I'll do is I'll just double check my brow and I'll go over any parts that I want to fix. So I think the front, or the top should I say, of my brow just needs a little bit thickened here, just to match like the tail area. I think my brows is the one thing I've always been so fussy on. Like, I've been doing my brows since I was like, what, 14, 13, I don't even know. And back then they were a miss, let's just say. That they weren't cute. But yeah, I've always loved doing my brows and always loved having them like perfect, so it has not stopped. Oh, perfect for my eyes, because I know maybe some people might not like these, but yeah, once I have the makeup on and stuff, they don't look so intense, because I know they look very intense just now. But okay, I'm really happy with that one, just how it is. So now I'm going to get on to the other one and just do the exact same. So I'll go through that again, just because I did speak through like me doing that process. But I normally just do the bottom line first, just dragging the product through, going to the front of my brow. And normally what I do is I don't take the pomade to the front of the brow on the top, but I will on the bottom, just so I do get that nice arch on the bottom. The bottom I would rather have more prominent, is that the right word? I'd rather have it more there. I don't know what I'm saying. I think you know what I mean, you know what I mean. But yeah, I'm just going to do the same and just drag that pomade and just create the shape that I want. I'm still going to follow my shape, but just make it a bit thicker, and I'm elongating that tail as well, just so it's a bit longer in length, like I like. And now going on the top and just filling in the top area, not going to the very front, but taking it close enough. Sometimes I do like to go a bit ham, and if I do, I just rub it off my finger, or you can use like a wet wipe. So I'll just fix that, go back over, and then just do the same, just going over any parts that I want to fix, and then finishing the tail like so, and then filling in. When I'm filling in, I don't really have a specific area. Majority of the time I'll start with the middle of the brow and almost like put the product through to the end and then just blend it out in the front, but I just really go whatever I feel that day, like that. And then using that spoolie end and just dragging through the front area like so. Now what I do is I've smudged a wee bit up here, and I don't go in with concealer. Like I will do maybe the odd once now and again, but I always go in with just a wet wipe in my finger. I just find it easier and cleaner. I don't know, I just don't really like normally putting concealer around my brows unless it's underneath, but I'll normally just clean up any parts that I've smudged or I've went out of the line that I wanted to create, like under here. Even though I'm going to be concealing, this just personally helps me and gives me more of a better guideline to where I want to conceal. Cool, so that is my brows, how I want them filled. Now what I need to do is conceal them. And I'm going to go in with, basically I will use a concealer for the days that I'm not wearing eyeshadow. And I normally use a concealer that's quite close to my skin tone. So this one from Maybelline is the Fit Me Concealer in the shade 10. This is quite close to my skin tone. It's quite olive based, which I am. So I normally will go in with this if I'm not wearing eyeshadow on like my natural days. Or if I am wanting to wear eyeshadow, especially colour, then I will go in with my P. Louise Bada Base in shade 2. This is the original shade. Or I'll go in with the Anastasia eyeshadow primer that's not long out. So yeah, both amazing by the way. This one is more paler. It's quite like bright white, which I prefer for colour. And this one is a more pink tone, as you can see. Literally that's how it looks, like that pink, light pinky peach tone, which I don't mind because it is still a good base, but I need to get the white shade. So I love them both. But I'm just going to go in and use the Maybelline Fit Me. I need a flat brush. So this I actually got from eBay. Obviously there's plenty of brushes out there, but this one is just a flat brush. So normally what I'll do before applying anything is I'll use my fingers to almost pinch the top of it. Sorry guys, that was my phone. How rude. I'll normally just use my fingers to pinch the top of it like that, and just to get it to a quite, I don't know if you can't see that, quite a sharp point almost. and this will really help get close up to the brow, and make sure that obviously the brush doesn't like disperse the product out everywhere, and it just gives it a really exact point. So let me just quickly get that off my fingers because I can see all of it. But I'm just going to use the applicator, and I'm going to put on the concealer. Not too close under my brows, but close enough for it to be like a fast job, if you know what I mean. Like, I'm not going to put it all the way down here so I have to blend all the way up. I like to have it quite close but not touching the actual brow line. So I'll start off with one just now. I normally start off with one, finish that, and then go into the other. So I'm going to use that brush, and I'm basically going to put the brush into the concealer and dab it out a wee bit first, so I do actually end up getting some product on here as well as on my eye. And I'm going to start by going right up to the line I created with the pomade and literally just dragging that product underneath and almost cutting out the shape that I want with my brows with that concealer. So far it's made it quite neat, and for this I actually love doing, because for me personally it almost gets rid as well of my veins and stuff that I have on my lids. I have quite a lot of vein discoloration here, which I just personally don't like. I like everything to look nice and flawless on my lids, so the concealer works a treat. And I also love to clean up my brows. For me, I love watching those videos that are like, you see like the beauty gurus cleaning up their brows, and it looks so satisfying and just clean and crisp, and just, oh, I love it. So I love doing it myself. But we're going round now the arch. Again, for me this can take more than 10 minutes, just because I need it to be, I need to be careful because I do have a shaky hand sometimes. So it's just going as close as I can, but nothing to go over the line. I don't want to go over that line we've just created, because I have to go back in and fill, which I've just done, so that's okay. Normally I will end up go over my line every time, so I always have to go back and fill. But once I've done that, I'm going to drag the product down. I actually am going to place more product onto the lid with the concealer. I'm just dragging the rest down and just helping get rid of the product there. And I'm going to go in with a little bit more, put that all over the lid now, just enough to cover the rest of my lid that's bare. And I'm going to go in with a brush that looks like this. It's quite a dense packed brush, like a dome shaped, and this is going to help blend out the concealer so it's not so packed onto one space. It helps distribute it all over the lid without it looking cakey. And the brush itself, you can use a beauty blender as well, but for me a brush I think helps spread out more with the beauty blender, because obviously it absorbs some product, which if I'm using anything on my eyes for a base, I like it to be as full coverage as possible, but not to the point where it's cakey and heavy on my eyes. So normally the brush will help with that, like so. So that is one brow completed. So that is me done that one. I'm now going to show you just one more time on this brow, just so I'm making it clear exactly what I'm doing. And again, just going in with that concealer and putting it as close to the brow line that I've created, but not touching it. And then we're going to go back in with that brush. I don't need to pinch it because it is still flat, but obviously if I needed to, then I just would, to make it sharper. And going in, and this is actually my difficult brow. I don't know about any of you out there, but I have a brow that is a pain in my ass, literally. One brow always does the work, like it's easy to do, it's grand, done within minutes. This brow is my hard brow to do. I don't know why. It's almost like this side of my brow sticks out more than this side, so I almost have to create a weird shape to my brow to make it look as though it's not indented, if you know what I mean. So I'm just going to do that now, and again just taking some of that product onto the brush and then using it to carve out the brow without having to add any directly onto the brush. This is the Doll10 Beauty Brush, and it's in the number 2. It's in the number 2. It's number 2. And I'm just gonna blend that out so it's a bit more seamless. Now at the end, once I've finished both brows, normally what I'll do is I will take the brush that I've used to blend out the concealer, and I'll actually go in the middle of my brows and basically just make a line. I know that sounds a bit stupid, but whatever is on this brush will help to blend out the middle and also will help add colour there. My either the skin tint that I use or the foundation I use is a bit warmer than my skin tone because it matches my neck better, and when I wear fake tan my face is always paler. So normally what I'll do is I'll go in here, because when you do your brows first before your face, it is very hard to get right into little areas as such and make it really perfect without smudging the brow or getting it in the hairs and stuff. Like, it can be a whole mess doing your brows first before your face. But for me, I've just ended up using whatever's left on this brush, going back and forth. It just means that I don't need to place any foundation in there because I've already placed some concealer, which is basically the same shade as the foundation, so you can't really tell that there isn't any foundation or skin tint or whatever I use that day there. It just helps it blend in a bit more. Okay, now that is both brows done. Well, for the filling part. Now, hello. Now, normally what I will use is, this is two different options that I like to use. So for my photos, and if obviously I just want to maybe go out for like an hour or something, whatever, I use the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. I will just use this to basically just set my brows in place for the however long I want them to be. So there's a wee bit just annoying me here. There we go, sorry. I'm so fussy. Anyways, yeah, I'll normally just go in with this for photos and stuff just because it is a quick setting gel. But for me personally, this doesn't last on my brows all day like I would like them to. They don't hold in place the way I want them to all day, especially if I'm doing a fluffy looking brow. If you want me to show you how I do a fluffy brow, then please let me know in the comments down below, because of course I will easily film it for you guys. So yeah, let me know on that. But if I want my brow hairs to stay in place all day, that's where this guy will come in handy. This is actually the Got To Be Glued Blasting Free Spray. It's a hairspray that I will use. And normally I will use this little guy and take it with me, because I also use it for my wigs. I'm out and about, because we don't want no wigs coming off anytime soon when I'm out and about. But normally what I will do is I will go in with the spoolie end of, say, this brush or any other spare brush that has like a spoolie on the end of it. I'm going to spray a little bit, like so. And normally that will help keep my hairs in place all day. So right now I'm just putting them into the place that I want, so they're not going to budge anywhere. And this, it doesn't take away any of the pomade that I placed down. It doesn't smudge it. It doesn't, you know, disturb it in any way. It literally just keeps your hairs down for so damn long, like the whole day and night. Like I will 100% guarantee. This stuff is very, very strong. So of course, if you are allergic to very like scented, or if you're just not keen on scented stuff or hairsprays in general, maybe having this on your face isn't the best idea. For me, I can handle like scented stuff and pretty potent smells, but this you can smell a wee bit, of course, spraying it and then placing it quite close. Also, just a reminder that it is quite close to your eye, so if you are quite sensitive to certain things, I would just be wary of that. So try at your own risk. I know it's not like a crazy thing to be like wary of, but you never know. I don't want people like spraying this near their eyes and stuff and being like, oh, that girl with her told me I could do it. Like, no. Cautious. But yeah, this is normally what I use. It's amazing, and it comes in a mini size, or you can get the big size, which I have two of, and they're very, very cheap. I'm pretty sure I got mine from Home Bargains for like £3, less than a fiver, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so pretty cheap, and yeah, they're great. You only need a little bit. So okay, there we go, guys. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go and do the rest of my face, and then I'll come back on because I'm actually going to go film another video for something that you will see. But I'm going to go do that, and then I'll come back on and finish off this video. I hope you've enjoyed so far. Thank you guys so much for watching. It is much appreciated. Of course, if you want me to like see me do more looks like this with different colors, then let me know, because I'm always down for that. And yeah, of course, please like and subscribe if you want to. And also you can check out my Instagram. It is Victoria Jane with 2 V's at the start. It'll all be listed in my description box as always. All the details are there. So if you want to check it out and come follow me on my crazy makeup, then I will obviously look forward to seeing you there. I will see you guys next time. Eloise. Bye.